Tina Clayton and Tia Clayton went pro. Brianna Lyston went to LSU. So, go pro or go to a US college. Which is the best decision for an amateur athlete? Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Now go ahead, please hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow. When you do that, go in and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here on Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoyed the content, please hit that like button. And finally, leave your thoughts after this sports analysis where we take a look at and we break down the races. So, when you're ready? Yep, good to go. During the ISSA Boys and Girls Champs 2022, perhaps the marquee event was the anticipated 100-meter clash between Brianna Lyston of Hydel High and Edwin Allen's Tina and Tia Clayton. Now, this race delivered in droves, people. But after this, both athletes made very different decisions regarding their future careers. The Clayton sisters, Tina and Tia Clayton, went pro and now currently are with the MVP camp and signed to Nike, while Brianna Lyston chose to go to the US college LSU. The question becomes which one made the better decision. Now, the reason why we're going through this is that after all this time, we've been doing this channel now for about a year, people are consistently questioning the validity of a amateur going directly pro and not going to college, and B, or an athlete going to college, not going pro. And what seems to concern many Jamaicans and many Jamaican fans is when that Jamaican athlete goes pro to a US college. So let's discuss. But first up, let's take a quick look at that race that delivered the momentous clash between who we now regard as the two young greats out of Jamaica, Brianna Lyston of Hydel and Tina Clayton of Edwin Allen.
Bruce says this lady will win the race. She represents Hydel. Her name is Brianna Lyston. She's in lane 5.
Comes in with a PB of 11.14 set this year. Also did 22.66 in the 200 this year, which is faster than the champ's record of 22.71 in the 200. She also threatens 11.13 right now. The Veronica Campbell record. Does she go sub 11 as well?
Got a huge ovation just now. Tina Clayton is in lane 6 from Edwin Allen.
The world junior champion cannot be discounted. The fast.
Wilson, Spencer, Walker, Clayton, Lyston, Clayton, and James. Set, bang, away. Brianna Lyston, another great start by her. The Clayton twins are trying to stay with her. Tina Clayton hops to the front now. Brianna Lyston is trying to fight back. It's Lyston from Tina Clayton. Lyston and Tina Clayton is very, very close indeed. It could be Lyston. It could be Tina Clayton. The flash time, 11.24. The record stays safe. But that was, oh my word, what a tight finish. Tina Clayton may just have been given the nod. 11.23.
All right, viewers.
Spencer, I said it earlier.
No, there's something we have to say though. The wind has turned.
The wind has
negative.
In this clash, it was Tina Clayton who barely was able to beat Brianna Lyston. Now, Lyston did deliver as promised at the World Junior Championships, winning her final in fine style under terrible conditions. People, it was wet, windy, and extremely rainy, but she became the champion over the 200 meters junior. Her win of while Tina Clayton walked away with a new championship record of 10.95 of the 100 meters to become the world junior champion in the 100 over the 100 meters. So go pro or go to a US college. Veronica Campbell Brown is an example of someone who went to college who shone in her pro years. She went to the Barton Community College. Campbell Brown walked away with a Barton County Associate degree and later went to the University of Arkansas. Now, of course, then there is Usain Bolt, the world's fastest man over the 100 and 200 meters. Bolt he trained at the University of Technology, but he did not pursue anything academically at the University of Technology. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. Statistically, the statistics seems to imply that the success rate of both the amateur that goes straight to pro or the US college based person that goes to pro is roughly the same. One set of statistics says it's roughly in terms of people leaving the NCAA to any successful pro division, it's 2% of our approximate 460,000 students in any given year that actually successfully make that transition. That's just 2% of 460,000 people. Conversely, however, the argument that is that with the amateurs, it is anywhere between the same 1 to 2% that will make that transition successfully from being an amateur going straight into the professional division, which means that this is pretty much a dead heat, people. So it doesn't really seem to matter where you go. The statistics seems to argue that your chances of success are roughly the same. However, there are a few things that we could add. The fact of the matter is, as Veronica Campbell Brown did and others have done, including people like Kemba Nelson, etc., you do leave the US university with a degree, which, given the statistics being just 2% of persons making it, if you don't happen to be one of that 2 or 1%, then you will have old-time people that say something to fall back on, or you'll have the more modern way of saying it would be you would have a degree and therefore stand a better chance in the workplace of securing some sort of income. Then of course we can ask the other question: if you then just go from an amateur to a pro and you are not that 1 or 2%, what happens to you? Do you fall through the cracks, or do you then have to turn around and try to get into a college? What happens to you then? So it would seem that going to the university may be a slight edge. But then there's another concern. I have said it here that the collegiate system does tend to burn out athletes. We've seen that many times before. Kemba Nelson this year actually had to ask her coach at Oregon, tell her coach that she wanted to make the Jamaican team, and therefore she didn't run as many races as she would normally have ran, which tends to burn you up by the time you get to a national championship. Remember, Abby Stein of the United States said she had ran something like 70 or 72 races throughout the season, which is insane. That's insane, people. And we saw what happened to people like Cherokee Young and Stacey Ann Williams. By the time they got to the World Championships, they were just clearly tired. So there is that disadvantage, but then if statistically it's a dead heat between going amateur to pro or going amateur to college and then pro, then what real difference does it make? The other thing, of course, is that I have expressed my worry regarding injury, because all that running and burning out can lead to numerous injury. But Akira Nugent, who attends Baylor, herself stated that one of the reasons she went to Baylor, and she herself was really seriously injured earlier this season, she had to stop her season. She said that the Baylor team takes really good care of their athletes, and that was one of the reasons why she chose to. In other words, what I'm saying is a US-based college would have the facilities and the monies to take care of a serious injury with an athlete, even more so than maybe Jamaica. Then, of course, there is also this final thing that we have to look at, which is what is the situation that athlete and their family is in. It could simply be that that family or that athlete, they simply can't wait around. They need the money. So you just go from amateur and you go straight into it. Maybe you just financially can't wait for 4 years or 3 years of college and the possibility of injury. So you take the risk. You get a good shoe deal, etc. But you don't know how much money some of these athletes make. I'm told it's in the hundreds of thousands, depending on the athlete and their level of talent. So that could also be a major factor. Instead of going to a college, you just go pro and take the money. And I'm sure I've heard many of you say that you believe that's also a logical decision, you know, go for it once you get the opportunity. So it depends again also on the financial situation. Maybe one family can't wait, they need the money. Maybe they're just not as well off as another family. We don't know. And then there is, of course, this final consideration. If you are a Usain Bolt and you're already running world record times basically at age 17, or like that young man Aaron Knighton from the United States, who I think has gone pro at 16 or 17, why would you wait? You are already way up ahead of anyone in college. You are so talented, it literally makes no sense. So you may as well just go pro and collect the money. So there's also that factor. And let's face it, Tina Clayton is running 10.95 people. That's what pros are already running. And we think she's going to run faster. So, I mean, this is so complex. But for me, ultimately, I mean, and this, of course, is my 2 cents, it really depends on the situation. Because statistically, it's a dead heat. It's the same. It's 1 to 2% depending on whether you go to college, a U.S. college, or if you just go pro from an amateur. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'd absolutely love to hear your thoughts. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button. Remember, you are royals, kings and queens. Bless up!